Well, there are so many people who say that they're miserable in their 9-to-5 jobs and they want to do something new, but they're scared and think that they have to have it all figured out.
Our first guest understands that feeling. Nesha Pai is the author of Overcoming Ordinary Obstacles. She's here with 5 things you need to do when entering entrepreneurship. Hello, and how are you doing?
Hello, thank you guys for having me on today. I'm so happy to be here.
We're glad you're here, Nesha. Welcome to Charlotte today. Okay, you're a CPA and you worked for a world-renowned accounting firm. You took a huge leap of faith when you left that job and started your own company. Very quickly tell us what that experience was for you.
Sure. I started my career at Arthur Andersen. This was like 25, almost 30 years ago. And accounting is very resilient, so I was able to go into industry, have a baby, take some time off, and I went back into the workforce and went to a local firm here in Charlotte about almost 15 years ago. And it was awesome because they did let me come back into the workforce, but I was there for 5 years, and I was told that I would not be able to make the same amount of money that my peers did because I had this blip in my resume earlier for being a stay-at-home mom. And so I had this conversation with my boss at that time, and literally that day decided to Jerry Maguire out of my firm, and I took my one big client with me. I do want to shout out to Xenia Hospitality Group and Stratos Lambos and Angelo Kaltsunas.
So you took that client, you started your own thing, and this is what we want to share with all of you who are entering something new, some lessons that you learned from this. The first thing you say is to get your mindset right. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I walked out of there with no fear and, you know, healthy fear. I think it's important to have healthy fear, but if fear is debilitating and it can stop you. And I didn't. I walked out to my car that day and I was thinking about my logo. So, yeah.
Mindset right.
Okay, so your mindset's right, and you're taking this leap of faith, but you also surround yourself with a good attorney, you said a CPA, and also a brand strategist. Talk about that, please.
Top 3 people you need to find immediately, and it doesn't mean you got to spend a lot of money. You just need to have a relationship with these people so you can set your LLC or your corporation up correctly, make sure you have an accounting system, and start your accounting system immediately, which I talk about next. And also, your brand is important. Your brand is important because before you do anything, before you even get a logo, figure out who you are as a brand and a person.
And the brand strategist will help you figure that out.
Yes, and it's worth the investment because then otherwise you're going to be lost in identity and you're going to have 3 or 4 logos like I did and 3 or 4 brands like I did before I figured out who I was.
Okay, so that's some good advice. I know a lot of people are thinking, yeah, but if I'm starting my own thing, I don't have any money to do that. But maybe even if it's just starting small and you're thinking about and answering those questions, who am I, what do I represent, what am I about?
And you can do the research, exactly. You can still do the research. There's so much information out there.
You can do that for free on the Googles, for sure.
That's right. You can Google.
You mentioned setting up your accounting system and learning how to read financial statements. Talk about the importance of this aspect.
Yeah, it's huge. I've been going around the country talking to different entrepreneurial groups about Financial Statements 101. There's a book out there called Managing by the Numbers that is, it's big. It talks about accounting in layman's terms. You don't have to take an accounting course. But the number one thing I find that is debilitating for most entrepreneurs is they don't understand how to read their financial statements. And it creates a self-limiting belief that they can grow and do bigger and better because they have no idea what a balance sheet is or a P&L income statement. And so I go around teaching entrepreneurs for free because I'm so passionate about you understanding it and not being afraid of it.
Okay.
Why is it so important to surround yourself with other successful entrepreneurs?
Again, it goes back to mindset because you are, what is the cliche, you are the person that is around the 5 great people that you hang out with the most. And if you hang out with other entrepreneurs that are successful, you will be automatically, subconsciously, I think, in the mindset of being successful, even if you're not yet.
You'll be thinking bigger.
Yeah,
you'll be dreaming bigger, thinking bigger.
Big success.
Sure.
That's my word of 2020.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Also, talk about networking. You say this is very important, and some people kind of don't like that word, but talk about networking.
Most people don't. I'm an extrovert, but as a CPA, most leads groups only allow 1 at the table, one seat per group. And I was frustrated here in Charlotte because no one would let me into their group. So I started my own Pi networking group about 3 years ago, and I include everybody. I don't care who you are, what your beliefs are, what your background is, what your race is. If you're, I'll accept, 20 CPAs in my group. And it's about relationship building. And we know this. life is about relationship building. Business is about relationship building because you work with the people that you like and that you trust.
That is the truth.
Indeed.
Nesha, good job. Thank you so much. For more information, check out NeshaPie.com. Note the spelling. It's there on your screen. And order a copy of her book, Overcoming Ordinary Obstacles. Some great stories in here. Nesha, you are a delight.
Yes,
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.